Welcome in, Bobcat fans, to another season preview, and this time we have women's basketball with head coach Carrie Saunders. Coach, I just want to get your overall thoughts on what you've seen from your team in these couple weeks of practice so far and leading up to the season.
Yeah, we're really excited for this year. I've been telling everybody that I feel like we finally have all the pieces. Now it's a matter of getting the pieces to work. Preseason, first few weeks of practice have all been going really well. They're catching on to new systems and new ideas that we developed over the summer to kind of get those pieces to form. So we're really excited. We've got a really good group of girls, and we can't wait to kind of get to our first scrimmage to see it all come together.
And now, how helpful has it been for you guys to have this full offseason? Obviously, last winter, with COVID protocols and how things ran in the department, where kind of shut down all sports in November, didn't get that full time to be able to work the players. And now this year you have that full time. You said, the players have learned the new system. They've gotten to know each other. Things have kind of started to click for you guys. How helpful has that been?
Yeah, I think one of the things that people don't realize is that this is our third year in Division II, and we've never had a full season of preseason and postseason. COVID hit during our first year, so it canceled our postseason, and then preseason last year the university shut down, so we didn't even see our girls until after Christmas, and then we got shut down again postseason. And so yeah, we're just looking forward to a complete year this year, which is really exciting. But the girls came in really ready and hungry. Our returners came in really well. We have a slew of new faces, so they came in really ready and willing to adapt to our new philosophy and system. We did a lot of talking about what our identity is and what we want to become. We've had 2 seasons under our belt in the Mountain East, and it's just a matter of what Frostburg women's basketball is in the Mountain East, and finding that identity and finding the pieces and recruiting and filling those pieces. So all the credit to the girls. They came in really, really ready and really eager to I told them when we first started, year 3 was the year. We've got to make something happen in year 3. And I think they really bought into that. So yeah, we're excited to kind of get the ball rolling here.
You talked about a couple of those returners, and just wanted to speak about some of them. Morgan Nabrowski, who had a career year last year, really stepped up in her junior year. Rihanna Hall came in as a freshman and really showed some glimpses of what she can provide. Sierra Thomas, CC as you call her, running the point for a lot of the games. Ariana Briggs Hall providing that post presence, just to name a few. And obviously there's others that are returning that are key members, but those 4 kind of were key in the rotation. Brene Ford as well, and defender, especially those coming back. And last year it was difficult where they were all so young, and not a lot of them had a ton of playing experience. Losing the one senior in Grace Butera, who's been a staple of the program for a number of years. But who among those has kind of stepped up as sort of a leader this year, and what are they going to bring to the table coming back?
Yeah, we established captains, but I do feel like all of them have taken on some sort of role this year as a leader. Morgan is always on top of her, on top of everything, being able to talk through things, as well as Ari. They have really good basketball minds. So a lot of, especially Ari, they gravitate to her, ask her questions about what's going on. They communicate well. CC has been that point guard for us for the last 2 seasons. So her coming into that role again, still trying to find her voice. She's she does a lot of productive things on the floor, and we're still trying to find that voice, but she's always going to work hard. So that's how she leads, is that she's going to do all of those little things. Rihanna Hall is just a powerhouse. I always say, if I see her barreling down the paint, I'm not getting in her way. And she is such a life and a personality on our team. So she brings that to our team. So each of them bring kind of something different, which is really great for all of our new faces, because we have a ton this year. I think they even outnumber our returners. So it's really great for each of them to bring a little bit something different to the table, that the freshmen and the transfers can kind of gravitate to that.
you talked about some of those new faces this year, and who has sort of stood out to you? Who has made an impact where obviously you're recruiting them for a reason, you want to bring them in for a reason, both the freshmen and the transfers, but who has kind of made you look and be like, wow, they're maybe better than I thought, or they bring something to this team that I didn't think anyone was going to bring at any point?
Yeah, so, as you talk, names are just popping into my head. A lot of our freshmen are bringing exactly that. So obviously we recruit everybody for a role and for a reason, and this is where you fit in our puzzle. I think Olivia Smith, Harley Herndon, their IQ is so through the roof that when we put in stuff, they know every other position already. And that I knew that they were smart, but I think I was a little like, okay, you guys both really know how to make something happen even if we're a little off. And they talk through it. I think the upperclassmen also respect their voice already on the floor because they know what's going on. So pleasantly surprised by that. Obviously, they both bring something really different. Olivia Smith is more of like a slasher. She can also shoot. Harley, I feel like, is that girl that holds down the floor. So like whatever you need her to do, she's going to do. Somewhat like a role player, but she also has the potential to score. Our two transfers, Maggie and Samia, both of them, Maggie's a point guard, Samia is a post player. Both of them have really owned their roles as transfers. So when I recruited them, I'm like, listen, we need a shooter, we need a post player. I'm going after both of you. This is these are the roles that we need to fit, and they came in doing exactly that. They both have experience from cultures that were successful as well, both at the scholarship level. One Division I, one Division II, so they have that mindset, which they brought in that mindset of you work hard every single possession and you play hard. So both of them are also adding to that. And all the rest of our freshmen are just doing an incredible job. You could go down the entire list. And Sanaya brings a vocal presence that we need as a guard, and Jasmine brings a presence inside that, as she continues to grow and learn within the program. As a freshman post player, you have time to grow underneath these two others that we have. So, we're just doing an incredible job. I don't have much negative to say about any of our girls right now because they're just putting in the work.
Wanted to take a look at the schedule here, and the first real competition you guys are going to face, at least in the regular season, will be the Jim Crawley tournament. Obviously a very special tournament here at Frostburg State with our former head coach of the basketball team, and kind of loaded up with PSAC teams where you're going to face in the beginning of the year in the non-conference schedule. So, scheduling those teams, obviously a little bit of familiarity within the region, but, what's it going to be like to face those teams from outside of the MEC first off?
Yeah, so that Jim Crawley Conference Challenge is the PSAC, Mountain East crossover. So we do have those two strong PSAC teams coming, Shepherd and UPJ. And we're excited. We've seen Shepherd before. We haven't seen UPJ before. We competed with Shepherd in year one when we went down there and played them. So we're excited to just, one, have the Jim Crawley tournament again because it's been first year it was canceled because it was our first year in D2 and we just couldn't get it together. Second year it was obviously canceled due to COVID and we didn't play any non-conference games. So I'm just thrilled to honor Jim Crawley again, see Jim and Nancy back in the stands, and have that tournament for them. But it's going to be competitive, and it's really going to set our tone and set our pace of where we stand. Facing some two really good PSAC opponents, and then heading into conference play pretty soon after that it's going to be a good weekend to figure out where we are and where we stand.
Talking about that conference play, the Mountain East, obviously a couple of really strong teams at the top, and then some teams that kind of fill in behind, not exactly sure where the middle of the pack is going to be running. Us personally, first couple of years haven't exactly gone the way we would like to. Back in this past winter, it was a matter of, are we really going to play this team this week, or are we going to play another team again because of the COVID stuff? But now playing a home and home with every team in the MEC, you get to see every team at least twice. How beneficial is that going to be for you guys to be able to get all the film, learn all the players, and then for yourselves to be able to work out different systems depending on who you're going to play against?
Yeah, I think the Mountain East is wide open this year. We have lots of coaching changes, lots of transfers out of the Mountain East, lots of different faces. So I think it's going to be really imperative for us to break down film and see what everybody has. But for us to be able to have that home and away series gives us back to the familiarity of we've got them again, protect your home floor, take care of business also on the road. But we know where we want to be and where we have to compete. We're going to compete every single night, but this group wants to get to Wheeling at the end of the year and play in the MEC tournament. So we just have to take it one game at a time and not look too far ahead of the schedule, and just, it starts one game at a time and keep chipping away. That home and away series is also really beneficial because you can learn from game one, improve game two, but game one is just as important as game two as well.
And then looking at this upcoming year, in terms of, this team, you said they have a lot of potential, they have a lot of talent, and it's just a matter of realizing it. If they can realize that potential, what is this team going to look like when they are playing their best basketball?
Yeah, it's almost yet to be determined. I wish our first scrimmage is this Saturday, but when we're playing our best in practice, we are fast-paced, we are scoring, we are defending. We're just a complete unit, and that's what we want. We have so many threats this year. It's not just we're relying on one or two people to score the basketball. We have multiple threats, and we have a bench as well, which is also really exciting in our depth. And just when we're clicking on all cylinders, you'll see it, you'll know it, because it's going to be pretty basketball at the end of the day. Very unselfish play, very aggressive, very high energy. So that's what we're looking to bring, and we have the pieces. Like I said, it's just a matter of getting everybody to believe in the system and work together as one unit, and we'll come out with wins at the end of the day.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on today and talking about your team. We're obviously looking forward to this season and what you guys can bring.
Yeah, thank you. We're really excited to get going.
All right, well, stay tuned. Later on this week, we'll have Sean Brown, our head men's basketball coach, coming on to talk about his team season preview. Thank you for watching, and go Bobcats.